In a world shaped by borders, power, and unresolved history, the news cycle offers only a glimpse of the truth. Behind every headline lies a deeper, more human story. It's a story of people, politics, and the often unbearable price of peace. We journey from the echoes of ancient grudges that refuse to fade, to the brutal realities of modern warfare, where the past is never truly past. From hidden battlegrounds to explosive open conflicts, we look beyond the official narratives to uncover the truths that fuel the world's most volatile regions. This isn't just about war, it's about understanding why it happens. This is Conflict Zone, brought to you by World at War Radio. Research for this episode is provided by Mr. J. Pednekar from Mumbai. Our journey today takes us to the heart of Southeast Asia, a land where ancient temples cloaked in mist rise from jungle-clad cliffs. Here, national borders are often recent inventions, drawn over a landscape where history and culture have flowed freely for centuries. In this timeless setting, a new and violent chapter of conflict has unfolded. For decades, this region was celebrated as a symbol of peace, rapid economic growth, and a deeply shared heritage. Nations that once fought now cooperated, and tourists flocked to their ancient wonders. But in July 2025, that carefully constructed image of tranquility was shattered by the sound of artillery. In today's episode, we investigate how a single, magnificent, centuries-old temple became the explosive epicenter of a modern war. A conflict that displaced hundreds of thousands and drew the anxious attention of the world. We will explore the untold story of two proud nations, one profoundly sacred site and a contested border soaked in generations of history, and now fresh blood. This is Conflict Zone, Thailand and Cambodia, battle for the gods. For decades, Southeast Asia had been a story of remarkable progress and cooperation. But that fragile peace was shattered on July 24, 2025, as the world witnessed a sudden military clash between the nations of Cambodia and Thailand. A region celebrated for its cultural richness and booming economies, Southeast Asia had remained largely untouched by interstate warfare in recent decades. The ASEAN community had fostered unprecedented growth, linking nations through trade and shared goals. It was an era of optimism, where ancient rivalries seemed relegated to the history books. But beneath this surface of modernity, old wounds festered. That changed dramatically on a quiet morning in July. Before the sun had fully risen, the stillness was broken by the deafening roar of artillery as the armies of two sovereign nations opened fire at one another. At the heart of this violent confrontation was not a strategic resource but something far more symbolic, a centuries-old stone temple, Prasat Tamuen Tom, a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site, a place meant to transcend national boundaries and celebrate shared history. Instead, it became the very reason for bloodshed. Perched on the disputed border between Thailand and Cambodia, Prasat Tamuen Tom, the flashpoint in the mountains. High in the misty ridges of the Dangrek Range stands Tamuen Tom, a 12th century Khmer-era Hindu temple, likely built during the reign of King Jayavarman VII. It served as a crucial sanctuary along an ancient royal highway. The temple straddles an ambiguous and undemarcated border between Thailand's Surin province and Cambodia's Oda Menchie province, a complex legacy of colonial-era map-making and competing geographical claims. Its sacred stones, once a symbol of heritage and faith, have now become a flashpoint of nationalist rivalry and territorial dispute, transforming a place of ancient peace into the epicenter of a modern conflict. Colonial shadows and historical disputes. The origins of this dispute stretch back over a century, to the colonial era. While Thailand escaped direct colonial rule, Cambodia fell under French control from 1863 to 1953. In 1907, France and Siam, now Thailand, signed a treaty to define their shared border. French surveyors produced maps that placed the Preah Vihear temple on the Cambodian side, but crucially they left the area around Tamuen Tom unclear and undefined. Due to its easier access from the Thai side, Thailand exercised informal or de facto control of the temple between 1907 and 1935. In 1935, Thailand officially registered Tam Nguyen Tom as a national monument, legalizing Thai administrative presence at the site. Unlike Preah Vihear, which was later awarded to Cambodia by the International Court of Justice in 1962, Tam Nguyen Tom remains legally unresolved. Both nations lay claim. Thailand says the temple is part of Surin province. Cambodia argues it lies within historical Khmer territory and was part of the same sacred corridor as Preah Vihear. The 2011 standoff and ASEAN mediation. Although tensions simmered for decades, no major violence occurred until 2011. That year, border skirmishes erupted around Tam Nguyen Tom. What began as tense standoffs quickly escalated into exchanges of artillery and small arms fire. Civilians were displaced. Lives were lost, hardening positions on both sides. In the face of this escalation, the international community intervened. Through the combined efforts of ASEAN diplomacy and a ruling by the International Court of Justice, a ceasefire was eventually reached. Indonesia, then chair of ASEAN, played a key role. Both sides agreed to allow Indonesian observers, and the ICJ ordered the creation of a demilitarized zone around Preah Vihear. But this was a bandage, not a cure. No permanent peace deal followed. The core issues of sovereignty were left unaddressed. The conflict was paused, not resolved. 2025, the year the border erupted again. In early 2025, tensions reignited. For over a decade, an uneasy quiet held. But in the charged political atmosphere of early 2025, fueled by rising nationalism in both capitals, the old tensions began to resurface. The fragile peace was about to be shattered. February 18th, the Anthem incident. A group of Cambodian soldiers filmed themselves singing the national anthem at Tam Nguyen Tom, a deeply symbolic act of sovereignty. Thai troops stationed there confronted them. The footage was posted online and went viral within hours. It sparked outrage and accusations of territorial provocation as nationalist voices on both sides seized the narrative. May 28th, border skirmish. A deadly firefight broke out near Teko Morakot village in Cambodia's Preah Vihear province. One Cambodian soldier was killed. Both sides blamed each other for firing first. The firefight lasted just 10 minutes, but its political impact was far greater. Thailand shut its border crossings, strangling local trade. Cambodia banned Thai imports and blocked their media, deepening the hostility. July 23rd, landmine blast. A Thai soldier was maimed after stepping on a PMN-2 landmine. While the region is littered with old ordnance, Thailand accused Cambodia of laying new mines, a serious charge. Cambodia denied it, citing leftover ordnance from older conflicts. The incident destroyed what little trust remained. Ambassadors were recalled, borders closed, explosions returned. Thailand launched airstrikes. Cambodia retaliated with rockets. The initial exchanges were devastating. At least 12 to 15 people were killed, and over 200,000 civilians displaced. July 24, 25, full-scale armed conflict. On July 24th, the conflict exploded into full-scale war. Tanks rolled, artillery roared. Thai F-16s bombed Cambodian military positions. Cambodia responded with rocket fire. Over the next 48 hours, the death toll climbed. Over 30 people were killed, including 13 civilians in Thailand and 8 in Cambodia. Entire villages in Surin, Ubon Ratchathani and Oda Mianchi were emptied, becoming ghost towns on the front line. Cambodia appealed to the United Nations Security Council. The UNSC held an emergency session. Cambodia demanded an unconditional ceasefire. Thailand claimed self-defense. Seeing the potential for regional destabilization, ASEAN stepped in. Malaysia, under Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, hosted urgent peace talks in Putrajaya. On July 28th, both sides agreed to a ceasefire, monitored by ASEAN military observers from Vietnam and the Philippines. The great powers also weighed in. The US president issued a stern warning: end the conflict or lose access to American trade. China played a quieter but crucial role, hosting follow-up meetings in Shanghai to stabilize the ceasefire agreement. Conclusion. The July 2025 conflict between Thailand and Cambodia marks one of Southeast Asia's most serious military escalations in modern times. What began as a century-old temple dispute erupted into a war that displaced more than 280,000 civilians and shocked the world. Tamuin Tom, once a peaceful monument to faith, is now a symbol of unfinished history, national pride, and unresolved borders. Though the ceasefire holds, the peace is fragile. Because in regions where history is shared, but borders are disputed, even ancient stones can bleed. For peace to last, both nations must look forward, toward mutual respect, shared stewardship of heritage, and a future where sacred sites unite, not divide. You've been listening to Conflict Zone, brought to you by World at War Radio. Research and writing by J. Pednikar, Mumbai. Stay tuned for more untold stories from the front lines of history.